Hello, everyone. Hi, I'm Cindy Leow from Drift Protocol, and this is David. We're both the co-founders of Drift. We're a decentralized exchange built on top of Solana, largest perpetual DEX right now. And today we're here to talk you through why you should stop trading on CEXs and migrate over to the dark side of DeFi.
So centralized exchanges historically, or centralized entities rather, have continually failed time over time. You cast your mind back to Mt. Gox in 2014, the recent events across 2021, 2022, and you think, this keeps happening, and why does it keep happening? It happens because there's a single point of failure, and history is repeating itself. So there has to be a better way. And recently, we had the biggest incident hit us, and that was FTX. So one would think, after all this time, the norm of trading, the norm of operating should move from a centralized model to that of a decentralized model. So the total value lost over just the last 2-3 years has been over 100 billion in assets, whether that has been seized, subpoenaed, or just stuck. And that's simply too much. Now, specifically for centralized exchanges, they're known to do many things: manipulate prices, censor transactions, freeze accounts, and fake actual reserves. And what that means for the user is a very poor user experience. You don't know when your order is going to be filled. You don't know if your order is going to be submitted. And ultimately, that's very detrimental to the user experience because you're really not knowing what you're getting into. You might get a fill, you might not get a fill, and frankly, that's just not good enough, and there has to be a better way. This is something that is not going to happen with DeFi. And frankly, at Drift, we think it's time to stop using centralized exchanges.
So let's talk about what we actually have today. This is not 2018 when the infrastructure for DEXs was still so early that you could barely place an order. Today, we have actual live DEXs with liquidity that is on par with centralized exchanges. So I'm here to tell you today that all of this already exists in the form of Drift. We've been live for about 2 years, and all the problems that David just mentioned of trading on a centralized exchange, like having orders being spoofed, having the order book market maker front run your orders, are solvable in DeFi today. So the order book that you would be trading on here, fully auditable on the blockchain, every single order is provably fair and not being front run. The biggest thing about using a DEX over a CEX, in essence, is really that it's built on a blockchain that is unruggable and is unable to be resisted by centralized authorities. You've seen, a lot of regulatory concerns over centralized entities being put down and users not being able to trade. And what we're looking to solve here today is bringing the trading experience to anybody who is able to do that, who wants to trade, because that's what we believe it should be. And the last thing is having reserves that are actually provable on chain is the most important thing to any trader. You wouldn't trade or you wouldn't eat in a restaurant where you don't know what food you're getting into. That's basically what trading on a centralized exchange is like. So bringing the DeFi experience to you is opening up the actual trading experience so that you know what you're getting into, you know exactly what you're trading, you know who your counterparty is, and you know where your funds are. That's the craziest black box that we still continue to trade with today. So I want to show you guys a video as well, going back to this already exists today. If you look at the left side, this is experience trading longing Bitcoin on Binance. On the right, it's experience longing Bitcoin on Drift. If you look at the orders being filled, Binance has been hit with errors and rate limits, whereas on Drift, it gets filled within a matter of less than a second. So I'm here to tell you the decentralized trading experience is already on par with what you see on centralized exchanges. So I'll turn it over to David to talk more about Drift as a whole.
So let's talk a little bit about Drift, and I think the demo gives you a slight snippet of what to expect. We're a leading derivatives exchange, currently just on Solana. We're number one, we have over 90% market share, and a lot of the tenets of what we're building is something that's immutable, transparent, and visible to everyone. We want to have the lowest slippage on chain, replicating a centralized experience on chain. And within the first 6 months of us launching, traded 10 billion of notional volume, and right now have launched a V2. So moving on. We're an on-chain leverage trading exchange. Now, this alone is confusing, and I want to break this down for everyone in the audience today. Some of you might be traders. You're familiar with spot, where you're simply swapping assets. We offer perpetuals. In futures markets, traditionally, that usually comprises anywhere between 5 to 10 times spot volume. So we offer perpetual swaps. We also offer opportunities for traders to earn yield, deposit, borrow, lend products, and essentially creating a full suite of trading products on chain. And the thing is that this is all possible. It's taking something that exists previously in a black box environment where you might not know who your counterparty is, you might not know who you're dealing with, to an environment where everyone is on the same page. Everything that takes place on Drift is something that you can see on the blockchain. Whether it's Block Explorer, you can find every transaction that takes place, and you can see who you're trading against, who is filling your orders. And you also know that when you trade, with confidence, that everyone on the platform follows the exact same rules as you. No one has an edge, no one has additional benefits that you don't have, no one's able to fill orders before you can, everyone's on the same platform. And that includes us, the creators of this platform.
So we're going to quickly walk you guys through a demo as well on Drift and what the experience looks like. Oh, I think the other video is not working. Yeah, we have some technical issues here. But essentially, that aside, the experience of depositing into the exchange and trading is very similar to what you would see on Binance. The thing that most people talk about is onboarding to DeFi is so difficult. How can I actually do it? We make it very easy for you to be able to get your onboarding done within the matter of minutes, where you can use any funds that you have in DeFi or in centralized exchanges and immediately send friends through and start trading. So this is a pretty revolutionary product. We have like the deepest liquidity on chain as well. So this effectively should replace all of your centralized trading needs. So going back to kind of the end of the presentation, we were very bullish DeFi, obviously. I think the recent year of developments and innovations in the DeFi space have shown us that DeFi dominance over centralized exchanges is inevitable. Uniswap only started 2 years ago and is now already the premier spot platform on AMMs. We believe that we can hit the same growth trajectory within the next 5 years. To conclude our presentation, we believe that in 5 years, you should all be trading on a decentralized exchange. We shouldn't be on this stage to tell you that you need to trade on a decentralized exchange. All your friends should be telling you to be doing this rather than going and trusting any centralized exchange. So yeah, to conclude that today, we're very bullish, very green 2049, where everybody's on their phone using drifts and trading on decentralized exchanges.
So at this stage, I hope this has convinced many of you to think about what decentralized trading is like. Having custody of your funds and taking control of your funds, again, is something that we're looking to push for. It's too long have we just placed confidence, blind faith in organizations that simply do whatever they want under the covers. So this is our way of bringing the power back to the users. And we hope you guys have enjoyed listening to our presentation today. So thank you very much, everyone.
Please find us around here. We'll be around to chat about DeFi, drifts, and follow us on Twitter, Drift Protocol.